And so for number 44, Grand's idea about iron was primarily intended to explain the lack of certain organisms in some apparently nutrient-rich areas. They talked about phytoplankton, which is an organism. Various places in the ocean nitrate. The phytoplankton were absent because there wasn't enough iron to support them. So there was a deficiency in the number of organisms due to the lack of some nutrient-rich areas. Yes, this is correct. Relative dryness, no. No, it's not atypical. And it was not about the dryness. Variations in carbon dioxide, no. As unit line 10 support most nearly means what? Because there wasn't enough iron to nourish, maybe? Let's say. It's not bold. It's not endure, it's not encourage. I think it could be maintain. That sounds good. Yeah, I think it's D. Passages that Martin's techniques, lines 28 to 31, allowed him to overcome which, and at the same time, an ebullient American ocean made use of ultra clean techniques to get accurate measurements. Okay, accuracy, and allowed him to overcome that the equipment using could influence the data. Yes, that's good. Technology required to process to collect the data, did not yet know. Location is expected to yield largely, maybe. Variations in pertinent data did not seem to follow, no. Because it could be because of the location too, right? To get, but it's the accuracy. I was thinking about the location, the dead zones, and wait, but iron deficiency was indeed a factor. It could actually be. I think it's A though. I think this is just to confuse you. Yes, it was about to get the location from this. But was it inaccessible though? Or no. Yes. So it's not. It's A. It's not that it was inaccessible. It was just hard to find that resource there. Inaccessible means that they couldn't reach it. Choice provides. It was this one, right here. What is that gonna be? 25 to 28. Let's see. Oh no. Okay. Okay, 7 to 10. Researchers that the phytoplankton were absent because there wasn't enough iron to support them. No, that doesn't show anything about equipment. We need to see something about the equipment. But partly because the levels of iron and ocean measuring iron with enough. Maybe. I'll put a maybe on that one. 17 to 25. And the problem was rendered. Okay, this is good. More graphic by brilliantly processing satellite images. But okay, wait, let me see. I don't think it's not C though, because that's like how do I say? The problem was rendered more graphic. This shows that the use of technology actually helped to support it. We're trying to look for an answer that shows that the equipment was bad. 25, 28, or they didn't have enough to kind of analyze. These are again the same thing. It cannot be D, is B. According to the passage, Martin thought the Ice Age ocean productivity differed from present ocean. Ice Age different from present because Ice Age productivity different from present because so where was this? Okay, wait. Where did they talk about this? Okay, wait. Martin says that the increased amount of both from dry and wood. The ice ages were also dry. Go north. Southern part of the same ocean because of dust from. Okay, wait. Differ from. So how do they differ? Because greater amounts of dust being deposited. It's no. More southerly position of South America. Sorry, major tropical northern more protected in the southern part because of dust. Martin suggests that the increased amount of dust blown from the drier would have made various parts of the ocean more productive. The effect would be particularly in the southern oceans where the level of unused nutrients is currently quite high, where the dust shift. Okay. So I would say higher levels, no, I don't think it's A. Increased concentration of atmospheric carbon dioxide during an ice age. No, it's not that one. More southerly position. Martin thought the ice age was different because of the more southerly position of South America. No, it's not the southerly, but it's of the ocean. Okay, wait, so we took off a wrong answer. Okay, no. We took off the right answer. So it's 100% not D. It is not D 100%. And it's this one. It's not C. So then we must have B or A. Greater amounts of dust being deposited in the oceans during an ice age. Well, major source. The tropical more productive because of the dust from the Sahara. Martin suggests that increased amount of dust blown from drier would have made various parts of the ocean more productive. Okay, so it was about the dust, the rate of dust, yeah. So it actually is B, yeah. It is B. It's not about the night. It was about the amount of dust that they talk about that it came from the Sahara and stuff like that. It's using line 39 marked. Wait, what? Marked. 39 marks. Same, but it's not 738 because it's not here though. Well, maybe the PDF is. This is wrong. It's not 39. PDF is faulty. So let's see where marked come from. I mean, the effect will be more particularly marked. Okay, so it's 43 actually. 43 marked as used in line 43. Marked most nearly means the effect would be particularly marked. He thought it would be particularly. No, I think it's wait. Scribe. Say maybe. Wait, let me look it back again. As used in line 43 marked. The key to its insight was that the ice ages were also dry. The major source of iron to the mid-oceans is doesn't. Martin suggested that the increased amount of dust blown from the drier continents of the ice ages would have made various parts of the ocean more productive. The effect would be particularly inscribed. No, that doesn't make sense. No. That doesn't make sense. This is wrong. Inscribed, no. So then, it's not isolated and it's not described. Let's go back to this one. Blemished. I mean, blemished. But blemish means to like spoil. Why would you? Maybe it's B, but like, let me see if it's isolated then. Isolated? Martin suggests that increased blow drying would have made various parts of the ocean more productive. The effect would be particularly isolated. No, I think it's pronounced. It would be more. It would be like visible there. I think it's pronounced. The author includes the information about Watson research to provide an example of the kind. Well, okay, Watson's research. Right here. Okay. Beck and Andrew has since taken part in various experiments designed to test the iron fertilization hypothesis. Prove more at least. Okay, so it just shows how he provide an example to kind of find them. I wouldn't say so. We cannot assume that. Explain how Martin's hypothesis has been revised in response to new data. Okay, wait. How has it been revised? I don't think it was revised, was it? No, I don't think it's B. Plus, yeah, we've had 3 B's in a row, so if it's 4 B's, I don't think there's. If you get 4 B's, that's not. You did something wrong, so I also think it's not B. Show that an important part of. Yes. Right? They were expanding on his hypothesis, not revising it. No. The passage was showing that certain agricultural practices in China have. Okay, right here. In parts of China, millions of them blah blah blah. Okay, so kind of where they've been experimenting all the reason. Volume, no. Compensation, no. Been studied extensively in an effort to further. Okay, let's look at the lines. 70 to 73. Does that lead to no? It's wrong. 73 to 76. If you don't know, wait. In the most thorough of them in 1990, the careful application of a few tons of iron to the South Ocean south of New Zealand produced a bloom of fire nicely visible. No. I think it's that one. 76 to 77. No, I don't think it's that one also. 77 to 80. Meanwhile, a less controlled and less well documented, but rather more dramatic experiment on the same effect has been going on in the North Pacific. Yeah, so it's definitely line D. And have increased chlorophyll levels. As certain agricultural practices in China have done what? Have been studied extensively, or have they increased chlorophyll levels? I think it's D. No, yeah. I wouldn't say been studied extensive because they would have. But it's just. Which one are we? I think I would go with D. To be honest, it's just this one I don't see enough. They didn't. Basically, what they're doing here is basically they're experimenting on their own. They're not looking at key things and experimenting based off of that. They're doing experiments, and then the result to see that the production of the iron dust, if it's helping this and whatever it's helping. So I think it's D for that one. Why does it say 50? No, it should say 52. Okay. Let's begin the writing and language section. We'll do the first 2 passages of this writing and language set. Okay. Every Wednesday on a weekly basis for over 50 years. Every Wednesday Why do you want to say every weekly basis then? Every Wednesday, right? You want to say every Wednesday on a weekly basis. That is implied. Number 2. So wait, everyone from Nadia would invite her current pupils to her Parisian apartment for an afternoon of music and discussion. Some of the 20th century's greatest composers attended these intellectually rigorous weekly gatherings. They were just some of the attendees. Some of the 20th century's greatest attendees intellectually rigorous week. They were just some of the attendees. Of the attendees at these intellectually rigorous weekly gatherings, you don't want to say some of them then. This is wrong. These intellectual... No, not these. Wrong. Some of the 20th century's greatest composers attended because there were... No. Wrong. Attended some of the... Yeah, I think this is the best. 2 is the... From the... blah, blah, blah. Boulanger, gifted performer in her own right, was famous for her demanding curriculum that stressed not only the obligations composers have to their audience... But the main idea. Okay, so we have to keep reading. Central to Boulanger's teaching, so she taught. He was her insisting that students master the fundamentals of classic music, proficiency, music theory, and all that. Boulanger used various exercises such as harmony, counterpoint. Okay, so about basically talking about her teaching. Boulanger was famous for her demanding curriculum that stressed not only the obligations composer have to their audience. No, you could say advantages of dramatic form. No, the importance of musical form, but also the need for every student to discover his or her individuality as a composer. Music theory analysis, while also cultivating listening skills. Not only the value of learning to place everyone, but also the need. I would go with importance of musical form. It's because I stress not only the importance of musical form, and that the importance of musical form was expanded by the proficiency in music theory and the listening skills. So I think it's C. 4. During private lessons and weekly gatherings, Boulanger would lead. Yeah. What she would do during the lesson, she would lead line by line and us. Identifying their structures and what she discerned as their there shouldn't be any do we have punctuation here? I don't think we need any punctuation in terms of possessive. Why is there possessive here? The structures are not taking possession of anything here. Doesn't make sense. So it's the answer is A. 6. From these intensive sessions with Boulanger, Glass claims that there shouldn't be any comma here. Yeah, I think it's B, because if it was like this, Glass claims, comma, or Glass says, comma. You don't want to say put a comma after he, because you're not leading into that quote. Like when you say claims or says. Blah, 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 blah. Glass later developed more. Jones, one of the few jazz musicians to study with Boulanger, went on to compose. This makes sense. Yeah, I think it's good. Where does not after sentence 2? Oh my god, so it's back here. Boolanger use very counterpoint. No, this is good. Why would you put it here? Yeah, you don't need to put it there. After sentence 2. After sentence 3. Boolanger led line feminine. Wait. Yeah, but then they talk about glass there. After sentence 3, no. After sentence 4. I think it's A. That's the best. Because then they talked about one student, and then they talked about another musician. Right? I think that's the best. Which choice best says of the information that follows in the sentence? To study with Boulanger went on. Okay. Jones, one of the few. So so this is a modifying phrase. Jones, comma, one of the few jazz musicians to study with Boulanger, comma, Jones went on to. So that's how you know this is a modifying phrase, if it could stand on by itself. Basically, if this sentence makes sense. So Jones went on to so we need a comma after Boulanger. Was there a comma? Yes. Which means that it's A again. Has to be, yeah. You don't want to put dash. If it was a dash here, then it would work. Okay, number 9. To compose and produce some of the most, such as Michael Jackson's 1982 hit Thriller. To Boulanger, who once taught the composer of the musical Bye Bye Birdie. You don't want to say. No, it doesn't make sense. Okay, which part best supports the information that follows? I don't think it's A. That it was only natural her pupils would take such diverse paths and make such unique music. Such as Michael Jackson, I need to hit Thriller. To Boulanger, who blah blah blah, it was only natural her pupils would take such. To Boulanger, who held that one must first master the rules of composition before breaking them. No, it's not C. Maybe it's B. Who believe that composers must find ways to individuate themselves. Well, the one must first mention. I don't know why you would break the rules. First of all, composers must find ways to individuate themselves, and the ways they did that was by taking diverse paths, so she said, and making unique music. So I think it's D for that one. Above all, Boulanger was truly dedicated to music, and she passed on. You just know that based if you read or just it's like you can know it's that without even knowing the grammar. Passed on a legacy of it, and it's in past tense, so that's why it's C. Legacy of it. She famously once said, "False notes can be forgiven, false music cannot." And Boulanger became renowned more for her teaching than her. Is right once included as summarized passages on Boulanger. And Boulanger will long be remembered for formidable knowledge of knows about her teaching skills. Taught her pupils yes, the teaching, right? Taught her pupils the foundations of the yeah. Let's just check the never claimed to be what? Come on, never. Answer choices that include never will be 99% incorrect. When a dating rocks. When a fossilized millipede called that was discovered in Scotland in 2004. You don't want to say it's with the apostrophe because that means it is. So it's D12. Right? It's singular. It's this millipede is singular. As I mean, it would take the efforts of a determined University of Texas student to show a flaw in it. Again, you gotta specify what you're talking about. You can't say, are we talking about this? Are we talking about the take the efforts to show a flaw in talking about the hypothesis, right? The age to conclude it could be the oldest breathing animal. We're talking about the hypothesis. The fossil was initially dated to around 428 million years ago. Period. This dating of the fossil was based on the abundance. That's good. The fossil was initially dated 420 million years ago. Oh, again, no. This dating of the fossil was. I don't think you want to say this dating of the fossil. Yeah, no. Yeah. So the fossil was initially dated to around 420 million years ago based on the Why do you want to say dated and the dating? That doesn't make sense. And you don't want to say this being. You don't want to say that. I think it's C. Yeah. 15. Professor Elizabeth Cathos of the Jackson School of Geosciences at the University of Texas at Austin. Okay, Professor Cathos of the they didn't put any comma here, so why do we need a comma? If it was like this, Professor Elizabeth Cathos, comma of the blah blah blah, knew, so they would have to be here. So this is wrong. It's not A. Professor knew. Why do we need a? We're not expanding on anything. I need a colon on. Yeah, you need no grammar. Yeah. C. Professor blah 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 knew that radiometric analysis. Yeah. But such an analysis had not been performed because researchers were unable to extract the necessary minerals. Okay, necessary means that they required, so you don't need it. Yeah, C, right? Yeah, it's the most clear. Specifically, they need blah 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 uranium. Cathos believed that zircon grains or zircons can be found in the samples. Okay, it's not C. In the samples. Yeah, you don't want to say samples asked her student. You want to say something. Samples she asked her student. Samples and she asked her student. The Catholics believe that zircon grains or zircons could be found in the samples. So she and. No, this is wrong. I think it's D. Right, comma. You want to put a comma in a conjunction? Yeah, that's good. Suarez received. It was very messy and unsuccessful. Suarez did some research and came across another method that used sonic vibrations to separate zircons. This technique worked. Comma, yielding. I think this worked. I think this is correct. Right? Suarez and other researchers isolated 40 zircons from each of these beds for analysis. Right? Was it? She first tried to separate zircons from volcanic, but this method proved ineffective. Okay. For sentence 1. No, you don't want it because then they talk about. Wait, she first tried. No, Suarez. She first tried and then she. You don't want to say after sentence 4. Let me think about this. She first tried to separate zircon. After sentence 3. It was very messy. No, I think it's B, but I'm not sure for this. which choice most accurately represents the information. However, they also discovered that some were much younger. A grain in bed 16 dated to 420 million years ago, and one in bed 16 cow 1 dated to 400. 22 grains in cow 16 cow 3 and okay, so there's most. Well, they talk about 16 cal 3, right? So that dated to 420 million years ago. It was 414.3, right? Because this is the only one that's in 16 cal 3 bed. The other ones are not. Which choice most accurately represents the information in the table? And one emit dated to 410.4 million years ago. A total of 2 grains is 16 cal 3. A total in 2 grains is 16 cal 3, and which was 14.19 to 358. So we have to look through this range of years. So 2 grains is 60 cal 3. Well, 2 grains, 419.2. So let's see which ones are in that range. We have 414.3, that's a yes. We have 415, that's a yes. We have 418, that's a yes. We have 426, that's a no. That's above 419. 447, that's a no. So that's it for grains in bed 16 cal 3. Now we're looking at this one. This is 16 cal 1, yes. 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 No. So 3 in cal 16 cal 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in cal 1. 2 in no. At least 4 grains in each bed. Okay, we'll check that one later. 5 grains in 16 cal 1, no. 3 grains in 16 cal 3, yes. And 7, yeah, it's that one. So at least 4 in each bed, no. That's 3. Which choice most effectively composed since the presence of grains indicate that the Menace pneumoni is not the oldest air-breathing animal. Together with Catalos and 2 other scientists published her results in the journal PLOS One. Thanks to Suarez, the search for the it's not D. It's not B. Since the divine is already known to have given rise to other air-breathing animals, the presence of green from the journal indicated that this is not the oldest air-breathing animal. Together with Catalos and Suarez published her results. Thanks to Suarez, the search for the oldest. I think that's good. You don't want to say important data about the Devonian period. We're talking about this animal, and we're talking about the other older breathing animals. So I think it's A.